Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair ragale, ni hao, chuna shumme, washmale, ohio gonzaimas, guten morgen, hi hugs and hellos, and khush amadi to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning. Alongside Shazad Khan, and look whom do we have over here? Maha Magdum. Hello, Maha. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello Shazad. I'm very
Walaikum assalam.
good. Actually, I'm good because I'm here, but I don't know. I told you for the last few weeks I've been quite sick, and I've just been waking. My stomach is not being good. I've been feeling very just not good, and I've been having like on and off fever as
Really?
well, temperatures.
So all you need to do is probably rest. I think you need to rest
I'm
yourself,
resting.
and
I'm not leaving the
that's about it. And
house.
I think that's what the public service message is as well. I've got two public service messages over here.
Great.
Now, the number one is that, for example, for all those people who are out there, because it was, in fact, we were almost there when it was summer, so we actually, packed our sweaters and all of the quilts and whatnot, so we kept them away. Now people are taking them out because of the fact that it's getting colder at night. It's 9 degrees centigrade as well. So please be very
Freezing.
careful because in the daytime it's hot and I can see people wearing shorts and half sleeve shirts. Please make sure that you're fully covered because that's the only reason why you're getting sick.
Well, the thing is, I try to be
Sorry.
prepared. I take my coat everywhere. Even today, I've got my coat. But but then when you're sitting on set, you
Sorry.
can't wear your coat. So
Yeah.
now I'm like kind of cold, and I thought I'd wear a scarf, but I was like, it doesn't seem nice.
So you just have to be careful. I mean, with ladies, obviously, it's more about fashion. But for men, they
Well, it's not
really
about
do not
fashion.
care whether whether they're going to wear a coat or not. So whatever they're going to wear, they're going to wear. That's what
Listen,
it is.
you didn't see me on the weekend. Trust me, it's not about fashion. It's the fact that we're doing a live show, so I have
Exactly.
to
But
look
other than that,
presentable.
there's another one, and that is that, for example, us being Muslims over here, what happens is that half of the time we do say Assalamu alaikum over the phone or whenever we see people. Now, for all those people who are right in front of us, when we say Assalamu alaikum, I think it is mandatory for you to say wa alaikum assalam or whatever language you have. Probably just say your highs or hellos, just reciprocate the same way. I think it gives you a good vibe, it gives you a positive sense as well.
Absolutely. I love that message actually because when I was walking in the office today, I said Assalamu alaikum to a guard. He completely ignored me. And I didn't feel nice. So I mean it's the first thing in the morning. You set someone's day. It's and it's acknowledging someone else's
Yeah,
existence.
and he might be shy of the fact that okay, should I say that or not? So
I don't know.
let's not judge
We're
people over
not
that as well.
judging, but it was
But
just
the public service message is please make sure when somebody greets you, greet them back. That's what it
exactly
is. So
wonderful.
Maha,
Yes.
what are we doing today? Because in the recent days,
Yes.
we've talked quite a lot about women.
Yes.
We have been talking about women empowerment. We have been
Okay.
talking about women playing their role. So what are we doing today?
Okay. Well, it wasn't just in the last few days, Shazad, as well, because we've been doing that. We like to do. We have incorporated it as a daily norm because that is what is happening out in the world. But as
Sorry.
you've noticed, people who are living in the capital, there's been a little bit of disturbance within the roads because of the security.
Yeah.
But that is because something very incredible is taking place and something that is much needed to highlight the role of women within Pakistan and actually within the whole world.
Exactly. So before you leap on to what we are going to talk about, the conference took place on 13th, from 13th till 15th of March, ladies and gentlemen. It was the Women Parliamentarian Caucus as well, and then the conference. There was 3-day conference, and then there were parliamentarians from different countries who came to Pakistan just to shed light on what their experiences are and how do we really think that we need to empower women and probably fight against the social injustices.
Exactly, because as we know, Pakistan has made leaps and bounds in regards to the role women have played in regards to society, even in parliament. I mean, Pakistan was the first Muslim state to have a female prime minister as well, so we can never forget these things. And
Exactly.
now the wonderful Miss Mariam Nawaz Sharif is on TV, and it is actually a 3-day international conference, and it's called The Role of Women Parliamentarians in Strengthening Democracy and Social Justice. So that is what has been taking place in Pakistan all week.
And I think I would love to, share the opening remarks of
Yes.
the Honorable Speaker of the Assembly as well, Ayaz Sadiq Saab, and I think I just have to figure out. So, in his opening remarks, he said that the Parliamentary Committee on Electoral Reforms has recommended reservation of a mandatory 5% quota of awarding party tickets to women general seats. I think that's a great initiative. Then the Speaker said that 5 to 10% mandatory women voters turnout for the validity of any constitutional election has also been proposed. So there's been quite a lot of proposals which has been over there. They're working on that as well. But now over here, ladies and gentlemen, what we have done is that for all of our, for all of our Pakistani people, there were people who were traveling from Sri Lanka, Turkey, we're not. But as a matter of fact, those parliamentarians are here to share their own experiences, how things go by within their country, for example, if we talk about women empowerment or social injustices, and we're glad, I'm proud that, you know, those parliamentarians are actually over here in the studio with us. So let's get the conversation started.
Exactly, and we'll talk, you know, it's about also finding out how can everyone be mutually beneficial to the development of each country
Exactly.
and their social situation. So we've been very lucky. We've been joined by Ms. Pemba Lama. She is from Nepal. She is Member of Parliament, and she's also the member of the International Relations and Labour Committee.
Wow.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. And welcome to Pakistan as well. Besides Ms. Pemba Lama, we've been joined by Dr. Sudarshini Fernandopoli. She is a Member of Parliament and the State Minister for City Planning and Water Supply, and she's representing Sri Lanka. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Sorry. How are you?
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Besides Dr. Sudarshini, we've been joined by Miss Husniye Erdogan. She is a Member of Parliament, a Grand National Assembly of Turkey. She's also a member of the Equal Opportunities for Men and Women Committee.
Wow.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And then besides Ms. Husniye Erdogan, we've been joined by Ali Yildiz. He is the protocol officer and he is an interpreter for Ms. Husniye.
And he's quite a
Assalamu
smart
alaikum,
young
good
man
morning.
as well.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for joining us. Thank you very much for coming over. So let's get started. First of all, I would love to highlight the importance of such conferences taking place in any country may it be, because we're talking about women empowerment over here and we're talking about eradicating social injustices. What's your point of view on that?
Women parliamentarians nowadays working all over the world, working very hard.
Yeah.
So as well as Pakistani women parliamentarians also, we found we're working very hard. So this conference made us provide us a good opportunity to talk about our world, especially world of the women. Just few days back, the 107th International Women Workers. I would like to say Working Women's Day because it is on the platform of the working women. So it is a Working Women Day, though 1995, the women of the world declared it as a Women's Day. So in the heart of that day, all the parliamentarians, especially women parliamentarians, are working very hard. So the result, we are here to share our views, our hurdles, and our experiences so that we can have new ideas among us.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. And, you know, I'm so happy we've been joined by, you know, representatives from Nepal and Sri Lanka, because I feel like also within the bigger scope, even within Pakistan, people aren't really aware of what's happening in the internal policies, the way things are happening. So, Dr. Sudarshini, so tell us about yourself, because you've been invited here, and you're also State Minister for City Planning and Water Supply, which is amazing. What is the role of women within Sri Lanka in regards to Parliament?
Actually, at the outset, let me thank the Women's Parliamentary Caucus of Pakistan for inviting two delegates from Sri Lanka. It's a wonderful experience, and I think we have a lot to learn from Pakistan. Talking
And it's
about the women in Sri Lanka, in certain sectors, the women have done well, like, you know, in education. Free education has been maintained by successive governments, and this has provided equal opportunities for both girls and boys to enter school. They have been given equal opportunities, and now looking at the statistics, our girls are, I think, doing better than the boys. Even in the health indicators, it's reflected. Our maternal mortality is very low, about 29 per 100,000 live births. Infant mortality is very low, and the women live up to about 79 years compared to 73 for males.
Wow.
But however, in decision making levels, in politics, the women's representation is quite low compared to Pakistan, compared to Nepal, compared to all our neighbors. I think we are the lowest in the South Asian region. And the representation at national government is only 5.8%. We have only 13 women. Although we elected the world's first prime minister, we also had an executive female president, but still the women's entry into politics is very low. And we have been admiring our neighbors in Pakistan, especially. They have a very strong caucus, and we have seen how they sort of talk on behalf of other women around the world, because women in all countries face the same, you know,
Okay.
issues.
Well, that's
throughout
something
the
which
world.
we
Yeah.
actually have to
amazing.
figure out right
and
now.
we're
Yeah.
going to, but before I will ask you more about why do you feel like this is such a low inclusion of women. But before that, let's move on to Miss Husniye. So I'm going to let Shazad do this.
Yeah, obviously. So now, first of all, let me say that Turkey is one of those countries which I love the most. I've been over there for a vacation and I've loved it. People over there are amazing. First of all, first things first. Now, how's the situation in terms of parliament? What type of involvement do you get over there in terms of, obviously we're talking about women over here. So do you get to see quite a lot of women parliamentarians over there? Is it free for all? Anybody can be a part of that, or there are hurdles or barriers?
Öncelikle Pakistanlı kadınlarımıza ve meclis başkanımıza teşekkür ederek başlamak istiyorum.
First of all, I want to extend my gratitude and
Thank you.
deepest feelings to the organizers of this meeting in general and the Speaker of the Assembly for inviting us to Pakistan.
Bir teşekkür de 1920'lerden beri bize destek veren Pakistan halkına, Kurtuluş Savaşı'mızda yüzüklerini, bileziklerini çıkarıp gönderen, bizi dost ve kardeş bilen bütün Pakistan halkına.
And also I want to extend my gratitude for the citizens of Pakistan who, you know, always helped the Turkish nation during the War of Independence in 1920s by sending their jewelries even for our cause.
Türkiye parlamentosunda şu anda kadın oranı %14,5. Bu tabii ki yeterli bir sayı değil ama arttırmak yönünde bütün partilerin, bütün mecliste bulunan veya dışarıda olan bütün partilerin konsensusu var.
So the rate of representation of the women in Turkish parliament is 14.5% now.
Okay.
We know that this is not sufficient and we have a consensus among all political parties to increase this number.
Geriye dönüp baktığımızda Avrupa'da bile kadınlara seçme ve seçilme hakkı verilmezken 1934'te ilk Türkiye'de kadınlara seçme ve seçilme hakkı verildi.
Actually, the right to vote and the right to run for election has been given to Turkish women in back 1930s, and this is even very early than many European countries.
Evet. Tabii ki kadınlarımız çalışmalarıyla da parlamenterler olarak hayata ve kadınların güçlenmesine, adil bir şekilde toplumda bulunmalarına, her safhada bulunmalarına katkıda bulunmak için çalışmalarını sürdürüyor.
So we as women parliamentarians in Turkey, I mean, we are doing our best in order to increase the participation of the women in all parts of life and the increasing women empowerment in Turkey.
That's
Okay,
great indeed,
wonderful.
and we'll definitely build up on that. We'll
And
definitely ask what we
yeah.
need to do to be more inclusive and to raise these
And
percentages
also,
over
what
here.
I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about the specific hurdles in each of the countries, but we will do that after a short break. So
Don't go anywhere. Good morning. right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you're watching World This Morning alongside Shazad and Mohammed Doom. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have picked up on such a thing which I think is, for me, I take pride in it because of the fact that there have been recent events over here in Pakistan that we have told the international, all of our colleagues probably, or the world, and we have given out a message that, you know, no matter what happens, you cannot isolate us because of the fact that the SAR conference took place over here. Then the Women Parliamentary Caucus conference was taking place over here in Islamabad. Then the PSL took place. Ronaldinho is coming to Pakistan. So imagine where we are. We are on the path to progress and prosperity.
And that's amazing. And now we've been joined by someone who's really wonderful. She hasn't been on our show for a long time, but we've been joined by Ms. Ramina Khurshid Alam. She is an MNA. She is also a member of the Working Council for Women's Parliamentary Caucus of Pakistan. And she's also part of the Young Parliamentary Forum as well.
There's quite a lot. There are different hats.
And there's so many more hats, but we've tried to limit it to this topic. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam and very good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us
My
today.
pleasure.
So before the break, we had been in conversation with all our other guests in regards to the situation in Pakistan. As we've mentioned in our introduction, Pakistan is making incredible leaps and starting the conversation, which was very much needed in regards to more inclusion for females, especially in the parliamentary decisions and all the voting. Now, if you could, for all our viewers out there who may not know much about Pakistan's parliamentary setup for women, what is the situation like? Do we provide a good platform for female politicians?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me on your show, and I'm very much, I feel very pride and like to have so many delegates, so many friends of Pakistan who are here with us. It's like moreover the feeling with them is like, you know, we have almost spent 2-3 days now. So it's just a feeling of a very great, like a family, the bonding with each other, the love we are getting from each other. It's really great. And we are very much thankful to our all parliamentarian sisters from around the different countries they came, and we are together. As I wanted to tell you about the Women Parliamentarian Caucus, this is a forum where the women from all parties, across the parties, they are the member of that, and then we are having a working council members in that, a group of the working council people in which we are, we took the decisions how we're going to work, and this forum is for every woman of the parliament, and you can say moreover the voice of the women of the Pakistan.
Wonderful.
So in that we have taken the initiative, this honorable speaker and the chief patron, and definitely Madam Shaista Pervez, who's the general secretary of that, who's the backbone of this all conference. So it was her vision to, to gather all the women from the different eras that we can sit together and to find out whatever we can do, what are the issues. And when we are sitting together, somehow more or less the issues are same for everybody. But one thing I want to highlight over here, that as I myself been to different platforms or different countries, but I feel in Pakistan, the women of the Pakistan and the representation in the parliament of women is moreover rather than other countries.
Okay, excellent.
I think that's a good news
That's a
too.
positive step, definitely. Now, Shazad has a question, and then when he does, I will have a very
and before I
important
move on to that, just because of the fact that we couldn't really manage quite a lot of guests over here, so I would love to name all the countries from where, my sisters from the parliament, they came over here and they shared, they were sharing their experiences as well, how it was over there, and obviously that's how you grow. So I think I'm going to name all the countries, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for all of the, women who actually came over here from their respective countries. So the countries and the women who were participating were from Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Jordan, Australia, Romania, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Jordan, Maldives, Indonesia, and Nepal.
Amazing.
I think a big round of applause to all those women and to all of you as well for putting up such a great event as well. And thank you very much for projecting the soft image of Pakistan. But over here, now when you say that, in terms of figures, or, that, for example, when we were talking to Dr. Saiba over here, she said that it's approximately 14% that the participation. Do you think, and this question is asked by a lot of people out there, why do we need reserved seats then if we are moving towards women empowerment and if we are eradicating social injustices?
I believe it is a very good sort of a decision which has been taken in previous times, but still we are trying our level best that the women should get more over chances to come and or to they should come and get elected. We are trying for that, but until and unless if we see the moreover details, if you go in the details, you're going to find out the women, they are doing moreover the parliament work, the parliamentarian work has been done, and it's been appreciated everywhere that their presence is moreover in the parliament, they are doing moreover the business of the house, they are more prepared, and even though the ministers and the parliamentary secretaries, though are the women, they are more prepared rather than the men. So I think this is because I want to say this, that women are more prepared and they're more
Because they know that they have
Yeah, that's right.
hurdles to
yes.
face.
No, but the only
There are
reason-
so many hurdles, but hurdles, see, I believe that when you come in the parliament, I don't believe that there is any difference, because the member of the parliament is either it's man or woman, they both are the same,
They're a
right?
politician, and it's about the citizens.
And yeah.
Now, the sole reason why I asked you about that was because of the fact that if you want to increase the percentage of, women inclusion within the parliament. For example, if we are going to have a quota or we are going to increase by 5% or 10%, the participation is still going to be limited. Don't you think that without the quota or the reserve system, the participation is going to get more intense and the percentage is going to increase as well?
Well, if you talk about the percentage which we already have on the reserve seats, but still women, almost there are 9 women who they have contested and they are in the parliament, and they are the very strong ladies. Other women are, I believe every woman is very strong, but still I believe that it's a very, it was a great initiative which was being taken because as now we are having our census. In that we also came across to know that what is the exact figure of the women in the Pakistan. So I think the way the women are more working, and yes, we need to focus more, and as all the member of the women parliamentarians, they are focusing that we should increase more ratio of the women. So everyone is working on that, and soon we're going to get some good news more.
Exactly, and I think also it's about getting the whole nation onto that same platform.
Yes.
And because if you take that away, then maybe they might not get as many votes. Who knows? But now let's talk about the hurdles, because like you said, all these ladies from parliamentary, politicians, members of parliament, came from all over the world to discuss very serious issues. We have Dr. Sudarshini, you're the State Minister for City Planning and Water Supply.
Yeah.
Now, you've said that compared to all the other countries that are being represented in this conference, you feel that women have the lowest participation in politics in Sri Lanka. So tell us, what are the hurdles that are actually keeping women away, which you feel are very similar in all these countries?
Looking at the women who have been in politics, most of them have come in because of some political background in their family.
Yeah.
For example, I got in after my husband was assassinated. My husband was a politician. He was assassinated by terrorists, and after him, the people in my electorate, they wanted me to come forward.
Wow,
So
okay.
likewise, the majority of the women who are in politics today or who have some sort of family
affiliation.
background. Yes, and also it's so for even for males. A recent study conducted
Thank you for
by
saying
a professor also indicated that of the males in parliament, majority of them have some sort of family affiliation.
Okay.
That is because of our electoral system. We have the PR system, proportional representative system. So unless you have some sort of block votes, you have to run for districts. So unless you have some sort of block vote, it's not easy to get in. And also you need a lot of funds. You need, and also the people's perception of politics. It's not gender sensitive. It's a like 24-hour on-call job.
Yeah.
And then in our parts of the world, the majority of the family responsibilities lie with the woman.
Okay, so
she finds it difficult, to manage.
The environment is not
yes.
conducive at all.
And also culturally also, it's a patriarchal society. So the power, the decision making lies with the male.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd just like to ask you, so when you came to Pakistan, when you see the situation in Pakistan, how do you feel? What does it look like to you? Because, maybe it's how Pakistan looks at other countries, maybe. How do you feel?
Because you have a proportion system over there. We've got a reserve seat or a quota system over here. So how do you...
Yeah, I think the women in Pakistan are very strong. I think they are empowered. They fight for the other women. And I think the quotas, I think it is a very good move to get women who want to be politicians. That would be a sort of a turning point where you open the doors for a normal woman without any political background to get into politics. So I think quotas is a good opportunity to give the chance to another woman to enter
Great.
politics.
Let's see what Ms. Husni has to say about the system. How does it work in Turkey as well? So because we have got a reserve seat system, they have got a proportion system. How does it work for women in Turkey?
And Ms. Husni is also the member of the Equal Opportunities Committee as well. So tell us about that.
Olumsuz yanları, siyasete katılımı kadar.
Evet. Yani Türkiye'de kota sistemi yok.
So as I mentioned, I mean we don't have a quota or reserve system in Turkey.
Belki ilk anda kadınların siyasette olmaları noktasında olumlu olabilir.
So when you think about it, in the first instance, it can be seen as a opportunity for women to be in the politics in a better way.
Ama önemli olan bence nicelik.
Evet.
Nitelikten önce nicelik. Yani kapsamlı, donanımlı parlamenterlerin olması tabii ki sayı önemli ama onunla da kapatılabilir.
But in my opinion, I mean the first priority should be the quality, not the quantity.
Okay.
I mean the quality of the parliamentarian,
Absolutely, yes, of
whether
course.
woman or
Okay.
man. I mean, he or she must be, able to conduct his or her role in a very
Absolutely.
good way. Yeah.
Kadınların ne kadar çalışkan olduğunu herkes bilir.
So everybody
Bu
knows
noktada-
that the women parliamentarians and the women in
Evet.
general are more hardworking than the
Okay.
men.
Sorunun devamı ne?
Shazad's feeling outnumbered. That was a very
It's all right.
very long Shazad.
Komite çok başarılı bir iş yapıyor
Zaman
Asya'da.
kurulmuştu.
Efendim?
Bizim stratejik komitesini soruyor.
2009'da kuruldu.
So the committee that I'm proud to be a member, the Equal
Kadın
Opportunity
Erkek
for
Fırsat
Men
Eşitliği
and Women
Komisyonu.
Committee has been founded in 2009 in Turkey.
Okay.
Uluslararası bütün sözleşmeleri imzalayan hemen hemen ilk ülkedir diyebiliriz.
So
bu
Turkey is
komisyon.
one of the first countries to sign
Okay,
the
I'm going to pause you
declarations.
there for a
yes.
moment. We have to go for a short break, but I'm going to ask you because, well, let's go for a short break. And when you come back, I'm going to keep you guys on edge. We'll ask a very important
Feel
question.
anticipated. Good morning.
Welcome
All right,
back,
ladies
everyone.
and gentlemen,
Ashra,
welcome back. Go, come on, what's
every
wrong
time
with
you start the show, you do the breaks, you ask the question. I mean,
you? You know,
what kind of women empowerment?
Women's Week is over now.
Oh,
All right.
wow, so
but
the
you
real-
got your rights. You can
Oh,
talk.
uh,
Okay, but you know,
the
for all
true
those,
colors are coming out.
yeah, but for all those people who have been on their toes, I think it's about.
Majority, excuse me.
He's joking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go on then.
All right, so it's just me and you, you and my other
I think-
camera.
No,
I
no,
think
It's
no,
four
no,
of
no.
us. So
No, it'll
No.
be you
It's
three
all
because
equal.
I
I agree
think
with you.
Ali
he
knows.
just stood up.
Excuse me.
All right, but for all those ladies and gentlemen who've been on their toes about what Maha's actually going to pose to Miss Hosseini over here, so I think we should get started with that
Yes.
now.
Yes. So before the break, we're talking about the hurdles. What is the situation in Turkey? You know, a lot of countries, they do have the religion and other factors that play hurdles in getting changes or movements. In Turkey, it's different. So what are the hurdles that women face in Turkey in regards to parliament?
Karşılaştığı parlamentoda.
Aslında çok güzel bir yerden giriş yaptı.
So I want to thank you. I mean, you got a really good point. I mean,
Din kesinlikle engel olamaz.
so in Turkey, I mean, religion, as you said, is not an obstacle. I mean, in
Yani,
this respect.
632'de Arafat'ta Peygamber Efendimiz'in veda hutbesinde kadınların her konuda eşit olabileceği, saygı duyulması gereken bir varlık olduğu bütün dünyaya ilan edilmiş.
So I mean, as you remember, I mean, in the last sermon of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has recited in 632. I mean, he clearly stated that all men and women are equal. I mean,
Belki gelenekler buna engel oldu. Belki toplumların kendi yapısı buna engel oldu.
so when we talk about Turkey, I mean, not the religion, but more the customs
Okay.
and the structure of the society
Özellikle
can be an obstacle in this.
Özellikle bizim gibi başörtülü olanlar Türkiye'de mecliste 2015'ten itibaren var olabildi.
So in Turkey, I mean, women wearing headscarves were not allowed to run for a seat
Right.
at the parliament till 2015.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Daha
Very
önce yoktu.
recently they had this
That's
right.
something new for me too as well.
Kadınlar vardı ama yazılı olan bir yasak olmamasına rağmen
Like in-
yani kadınlar giremedi.
So I mean, although there were no written rules, I mean, banning them to run for a seat, because of the understanding of this, I mean, secularism and the other, issues, they were not allowed before.
Biz özellikle bu konuda şu andaki Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Kadınları son 15 yıldır inanılmaz destekledi.
So I want to thank our president, Mr. Erdogan, in this respect, because
Okay.
he was always supporting the
That's
Turkish
fine.
women in
Allah.
this
Okay,
regard.
no, but that's fine. But I want to know before we sorry, Pamela, we're going to ask you the question. But I want to know that's fine. But what I want to know is what are those custom hurdles? That's fine before they weren't allowed. It was a secular state. That's fine. We understand.
might be
that.
other hurdles
But
as
what
well.
are the other hurdles?
Diğer şeyler, bu dediğiniz gelenekten kaynaklanan yani engeller neler olabilir?
Other than the
Yani,
headscarf.
kadınların fazla yer almaması gerektiği gibi
Evet.
şeyler dediniz değil mi? Yani
Ya
öyle
o
bir anlayış.
baskıcı ataerkil toplumlar dediğimiz baskıcı toplumlar ya bu her ülkede var. Sadece Türkiye'de değil. Yani Orta Asya'da işte efendim bizim yaşadığımız coğrafyada var. Ama bunu sadece işte dine dayamak uygun değil.
So not only in Turkey but in many countries in our
Bütün
region,
coğrafyada, her coğrafyada
this
var.
comes from the understanding of the patriarchal society.
Okay, it's the
I
same
mean,
thing.
not giving the woman
We're bitten
the
by the
right
same.
to,
Ama-
participate.
Ama Cumhuriyet kurulduğundan beri bu çok daha iyi durumda şu anda.
But since the foundation of the Turkish Republic, we are getting more and more better in this regard. I mean, in order to, alleviate this understanding.
Amazing.
Great. Okay, so now Pemba, so tell us in Nepal. I'm so sorry, it took us so long to get back. So tell us, what are the hurdles that the female parliamentarians face in?
As our honorable from the Turkey said, it's a patriarchy actually, which is leading all the social values and norms.
Okay.
So that is one, most of the, I should say big hurdle, though we have 33% reservation in the parliament.
Wow.
And now in the local level we have 40% reservation for the female. and we have 3 right honorables now. The president is woman, and the speaker is woman, and the chief justice is woman in Nepal. But this is the fact, but there are some hurdle which is not allowing the women parliament to work smoothly. That the patriarchy, the socialization of the at the home, at the society. So the women are not considered as a parliamentarian who is capable enough to run the businesses, but as our honorable from Pakistan said,
that's what happens.
they are very enthusiastic and they are very responsive towards
Now,
their
there's one simple thing before we wrap up, and before you wanted to ask. Now, and that is, since you're all women, right, and you're parliamentarians as well, you're representing women within the parliament as well. Now, what have you done within your own capacity and within your own country to get rid of these social injustices which were prevalent?
That
So
is
what's
very
already
good
done?
question.
Thank you very much.
That is very good and relevant question, because we have done a lot because this is the first time we have the new constitution being the Federal Democratic Republic, and now we have to bring more than 300 laws related with the new constitution. So in that regards, we are doing a lot of things regarding the women. So now the civil code is coming, and we are working on that. The marriage and the age of marriage, divorce laws there, domestic violence and sexual violence at the workplace. These kind of laws are bringing at the moment. So we are working very hard on that, because while we are talking about that, the representation issue is there. So some of them are, as I said, patriarchy is there. So they are saying that it is written in the constitution, why should we have in the law? As we all know, if there is not written in the law,
Then
it cannot be implemented as the ground reality. So we are fighting very much to bring those things in the law nowadays, like 33% at the local level, or the not local level, it's in the policy level. Just I want to give one example for you, that the political parties bill is there now, and we have put the amendment that there should be 50% women signaturing while registered the political party at the election commission. So now this is the key that we are working on that.
That's really
But I
great.
hope we're even ensuring quality as well. Let's see what's happening
we
in
are
Pakistan.
we are focusing on quality as well, and it is not that we are not quality. We are not in the quality level, but also the numbers matter.
Yeah.
Because if there is a number, we can find out the quality actually.
And then we can have representatives.
And then also
That's the
you
best
need
part.
a support system. You have one lone ranger fighting, it gets tiring and it gets. But ma'am, we're going to come to you at the end, because I have a very
Okay.
important question to ask you
Okay.
as well. So Dr. Sudarsini, what about you? How do you feel that Sri Lanka can now go forward, and how can we all help each other?
Actually, Sri Lanka also, the Women's Caucus, together with the civil societies backed by women, we were able to get a 25% quota for the local government level, and we are fighting to get a quota for the provincial level. And right now, our constitution is being amended, and we have submitted a proposal to ensure gender balance of 30 to 70% at all levels, not only at political decision-making bodies, but even in administrative posts, commissions, authorities, where we want to ensure minimum of 30% representation by women. And we also have ensured equality not only in access to law, but again on opportunities, receipts for resources, etc. And we are also looking at the laws in Sri Lanka. We have issues, like you said, we are governed by the constitution, but there are in certain, like personal laws allows women at 12 years to get married. Our general law is 18 years. So in certain communities, again the Muslim Divorce Act, the women from these communities have made representation to the caucus. so we are looking at all these laws from a perspective of child rights and women's rights. So we want to make all women, irrespective of their ethnicity, religion, we want to ensure equal rights for all.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
And I think Ms. Husni has already said that, everyone is now being included in opportunity to join the parliament, which is a wonderful progression. But now going forward, what would you like to see happen in Turkey after this conference?
Türkiye'de son 15 yılda kadınlar açısından anayasal 2 madde düzeltildi. Çok önemli olarak 2004'te kadın ve erkek eşittir denerek anayasaya yazıldı.
So we have introduced two very important constitutional amendments in the last 15 years or so in this regard. For instance, one of them is the introduction of the article stating that men and women are equal. I mean, clearly we had a sentence
2010'da
included into the
artık
constitution.
pozitif ayrımcılık uygulanarak kadınlara haklar tanındı.
And in
Bu da
2010
anayasaya
we have
yazıldı.
introduced the clause for bringing positive discrimination towards women.
That's so great.
Ayrıca kadına şiddetle ilgili kadının istihdamla ilgili yine değişiklikler yapıldı.
And
Anayasaya kanun çıkartıldı.
And
Şiddet gören
we have
kadınlarla ilgili.
realized many amendments regarding the fighting against violence towards women and
Amazing.
economic empowerment of women.
Bu benim de üyesi olduğum KEFEK, Kadın Erkek Fırsat Eşitliği Komisyonu'nda her alanda kadının statüsünün yükseltilmesi için çalışmalar
And the Committee
yapıyor.
on Equal Opportunity for Men and Women has introduced many, efforts towards bringing women more actively into the politics and all parts of the life.
Üniversitelerde hocalarımızın yarına yakını %45'i kadın.
For instance, in our universities, among the academic personnel, nearly 45% of these are women.
Yine hakeza istihdamda %30'a yakını kadın.
And when we look at the job opportunities, nearly 30% of all over the country is
Yine
women. Yes.
eğitim alanında kız çocuklarının okuma yazmasının yükseltilmesi için çabalar var. %99'a yakın hepsi okur yazar.
And when it comes to the education area, we remove the obstacles in front of the girls.
Wonderful.
And nearly 99% of the whole
That is
population
indeed
is
brilliant,
getting
and we're
the...
just running short of time
Okay, we're
right
running
now.
out. I'm so sorry, but we run out of time, but we have to ask our
Yeah.
final guest.
And that is, now, for example, all of the representatives are here from different countries, they're parliamentarians. We have discussed pretty much, what the
Yeah.
issues were and how they've actually overcome all of these issues. How do you think now, you as a Pakistani woman, she as a Pakistani woman, you're going to overcome by keeping in our heads and in our minds all together as men and women that we can learn from them? How do you think that we are going to inculcate all of this within the system?
Well, first of all, the concept of this conference is that to sit together under one roof and to discuss about the issues, what are the issues, and as I said, almost of all countries, somehow the issues are a bit same. But yes, as they also said themselves that they have found the Pakistani woman more strong and empowered. So, but as we're talking about different issues like as legislative areas, because we wanted to learn from each other the best practices from their countries. And at the end, we are coming up with, we're going to come up with the final declaration and sort of a resolution which unanimously everybody has to be they have to put their opinions, and on that unanimously it's going to become over. And then we're going to have to, we are trying to come up with some sort of a group in which we can discuss our problems, and then the action plans that how we can help each other and how we can raise the issues and how we can work on it, and in that way. And then definitely, as they have all said, that I as a Pakistani, I feel more proud that yes, the Pakistani woman is more stronger, and we are unanimously together, all together, and on any issues. Now the woman is more strong and they don't feel shy to come up with the issues, and as now all provinces they are coming up with so many good legislation and a very strong legislation. As we can talk about the marriage acts for the minorities, you can say like for the Hindus, for the Christian, they are also coming. If we talk about the honor killing, that is also that has been done, and most of that on the dowry the FATA has they have
Exactly.
coming up.
Yeah.
So these are the very good things and positive things which are coming
Amazing.
now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Our
for your
pleasure.
time. It's
Thank you
been
so
an
much.
absolute
Yes.
pleasure. And I
Yeah.
hope the conference, we get some really nice minutes from it.
And it was
Yeah.
lovely to have you guys over here in
Yeah.
Pakistan.
it's
Please
great.
keep on
It's
visiting
And
great.
us.
fighting the patriarchy, keep
Yeah.
going. It's great.
It's really great.
for the
Yeah.
opportunity
very
given.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And what I'd like to say here is that,
That my question was here
yeah,
all this time.
because we're talking about equal opportunity, right? So
Where's my opportunity? man?
Okay, so with that, what I'd like to say is that, within Pakistan, as all of our guests have said, that they found that Pakistani women are much stronger than what they had an idea of. That is because within our media, and I'm not blaming anyone, but we project this weak, timid, mild, uneducated, lack of ambition or drive in our dramas, in our, the way they talk, the way they're represented on television. And it's about time you start representing those women who are educated, because that is also part of our religion as well.
I'm going to agree to that partially, but there's another network which is actually being run by a lady as well, and she's the one who's actually behind all these dramas as well. I mean, it's a big name within the industry as well, but I think that we probably need to pick up other issues now,
Possibly
and we need to
over
move on. Yeah,
capitalism
we
and
need to move on.
business.
We need to pass on with all of these issues as well. But if there's something which you would love to ask, or probably you want to know about, all you have to do is log on to our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning,
on Twitter,
without a G.
on Daily Motion, and YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And the fabulous repeat is going to be at?
At 11:05 p.m. And if you've just caught our show, I would definitely advise you to watch it in the repeat, because it's been absolutely fascinating.
Because it's about time that we're going to get pictures with parliamentarians from all around the globe.
Yes, great.
I feel jealous.
Okay, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you bright and early on Monday.
Good morning. Thank you.